I don't. First of all, why? Why have you talked about this? Why? It doesn't make sense to anybody. I even Trump was like, "What are you doing talking about this? What are you doing?" There's no reason to bring it up. It was 20 years ago that she killed her dog and her goat or whatever. Why bring it up? And then B, why did you have to kill the dog when you could have taken it somewhere? I don't know, Humane Society or a dog pound of some sort, or give it to a farm that takes wayward dogs. I don't know. There's got to be a place.
Even if you kill it, don't
talk about it.
And it's still young enough to train.
Yeah. Right. It was 14 months. Come on.
That's too old.
I would say with this Kristi Noem stuff, we're beating a dead horse.
But see what you did there? Because she also killed her horses.
Thank you. Yeah. But she's the one, right? She's the one that keeps bringing this up.
Yeah.
Right? The commander stuff, Chris?
Yeah, she's now saying that she will kill Commander the same way that she killed Cricket.
Yeah.
Commander, the president's dog.
The dog that bit like Secret Service agents.
It bit everybody.
Like 20 people or something.
Weird, yeah.
So here she is talking about Joe Biden's dog.
But on this point, though, because you have been rumored to be a potential vice presidential candidate, as you know, and former House Speaker Newt Gingrich said killing the dog and then writing about it ended any possibility of her being picked as VP. You talk multiple times about it. In fact, at the end of the book, you say the very first thing you would do if you got to the White House that was different from Joe Biden is you'd make sure Joe Biden's dog was nowhere on the grounds. Commander, say hello to Cricket. Are you doing this to try to look tough?
All right.
Do you still think that you have a shot at being a VP?
A shot, get it?
Well, number one, Joe Biden's dog has attacked 24 Secret Service people. So how many people is enough people to be attacked and dangerously hurt
and all Cricket
before
did was
you make
chickens.
a decision on a dog and
well,
what
he's
to do
not
with
living
it?
at the White House
That's
anymore.
a question that the president should be held accountable to.
You're saying he should be
That's
shot?
what the president should be accountable to, is what is the number? And I would say about Republicans criticizing me, these are the same Republicans that criticized me during COVID. They've criticized me when I've made other decisions in South Dakota to protect my state. And my state today is extremely happy and thriving. We're doing well. We've got thousands of people moving to our state.
Change the topic.
Okay. All righty.
That's not true, Kristi.
No, it's not. It's not true.
It's not true.
No. There was also some other inconsistencies in the book. It wasn't just that. She also talked about meeting with Kim Jong Un. And she didn't.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, I don't know how that happened. That's just weird.
Okay, let's see that clip.
Talk about meeting some world leaders, and one specific one. Quote, I remember when I met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong Un. I'm sure he underestimated me, having no clue about my experience staring down little tyrants. I've been a children's pastor after all.
Whoa.
Did you meet Kim Jong Un?
Wait, what about the kids quote?
Well, as soon as this was brought to my attention, I certainly made some changes.
Wait a minute. Brought to your attention? You wrote the book.
Wow.
What?
This is the weirdest
That's
explanation.
Really weird. That is weird. Okay, let's see the rest of it,
In fact, if it's a ghostwriter that's responsible for misremembering her stories, then she should have already used that out on the Cricket story, which would have paved the way for an out on this one.
Right. But no.
Jeez.
All right, let's see the rest.
And looked at this passage, and I've met with many world leaders. I've traveled around the world. As soon as it was brought to my attention, we went forward and
but the
have
fat
made
little
some edits.
North Korean guy.
I'm glad that this book is
Did you
being
meet with
released
him?
in a couple of days, and that those edits will be in place, and that people will have the updated version.
They made
So you did not meet with Kim Jong Un. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. That's what she's saying.
No, I met with many world leaders.
What a quiet
I've traveled around the world. I think I've talked extensively in this book about my time serving in Congress, my time as governor, before governor, some of the travels that I've had.
But did you meet with Kim Jong Un?
I'm not going to talk about my specific meetings with world leaders.
Well,
I'm
you
just
did
not
in the
going
book.
to do that.
Then why?
This
Well, they're editing
anecdote
that.
shouldn't have been in the book, and as soon as it was brought to my attention,
Dude, I want an original copy
I made
that
sure
doesn't
that
have the
was
edit.
adjusted. So.
Oh, somebody find me a original.
Okay, I really like her. This is just so unfortunate.
But did you see how she answered that? Ask me if I've ever met Kim Jong Un.
Keith, have you ever met Kim Jong Un?
No, but I've met so many different people in the blah, 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 blah. I mean, it was the most subdued no, but now she can go and say, I've said no. Ugh,
well, it's too late. You already wrote in the book that you did meet with him.
When it came to my attention that somebody was making up stories about me and writing it in the book that I signed off on,
right?
Then I said, look,
that
we
doesn't
gotta
work
fix
either,
that.
because then you have to admit you didn't write the book.
What's her thing, man?
I don't know. It's so weird.
This is just
so bad.
Bizarre. Why can't she just...
Look, you can't write that in the book when you know you didn't meet with the guy, because of course that's going to come out. If you say you met with him and he had certain thoughts about you that weren't exactly accurate, then people are going to say, when did you meet with Kim Jong Un? As the governor of North Dakota or South Dakota or whatever Dakota it is, Middle Dakota.
I've met with I've met with so many world leaders.
It's just
Pat.
bizarre.
If you had,
it's bizarre.
Okay, let's say that she was the Sunday school teacher for your kid. How would you feel about that? Where she's like, look, I've had to deal with tyrants on the same level as a North Korean dictator that starves his people to death and puts them in internment camps. I mean, that's what she was saying, that like little tyrants.
Yep.
Can you just hold a press conference? Go back in time a month ago and just hold a press conference saying, I don't want a future in politics, and then just walk away from the podium, Kristi, because that's kind of
what's happened
doing
here now. I mean, there's no way Trump can choose her now. There's no way. And I think it might have been her before this. But now Trump has basically said, yeah, no. And it was dumb of her to write that in the book.